My name is Bailey Bowers, and today we are going to look at an English lesson for 11th graders in a unit on African American literature. The standard of learning is that the student will read, comprehend, and analyze relationships among American literature, history, and culture. They will discuss American literature as it reflects traditional and contemporary themes, motifs, universal characters, and genres. So we're going to go ahead straight to the WebQuest, which is basically the assessment for this unit for the students to work on as a group. So our WebQuest we have is on American literature for AP English, focusing on Phyllis Wheatley, Gloria Naylor, Frederick Douglass, and Harriet Beecher Stowe. So first they have the introduction, just telling them, going over again the authors and how they're going to be looking at how these authors shaped our society and our country. Next comes the task where they are told specifically what they're going to be doing. Then you have the resources. So the resources section, the students are given articles and questions to answer that correspond with each of the articles so that they can further review what they've been learning. So first we have an article focusing on how African Americans were treated and the causes of that. 6 questions on that, as it's vital to understand before we go into the literature. Next, they have a brief biography on the life of Phyllis Wheatley and 3 questions to answer about her. Next is an article on the women of Brewster Place and the life of Gloria Naylor and 2 questions. And then a biography on Frederick Douglass. 2 questions. These are all brief articles that the children can read quickly. Then we have a biography on the life of Harriet Beecher Stowe and 3 questions to go along with that. Next comes the Google form, the collaborative wiki that the students will be completing. So for this assignment, they'll be completing this Google form, which is linked below, with their partner, answering each question in the specified word count and only using notes from class and the answers to the questions above. They will also be able to use the articles that were referenced in this project. So we'll click on the Google form, and we have African American literature. What are 2 recurring themes in Gloria Naylor's The Women of Brewster Place, and how did they show up within these stories? 100 words that they'll type right here. Compare Frederick Douglass and Phyllis Wheatley. How did their views of slavery differ from one another? 200 words on that as well. Write about the significance and symbolism represented in characters of Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin. 300 words minimum. So since this is a broader question, they have more words to answer this question with. So it's cool because the students can all work together collaboratively on this project, submit it, compare and contrast their answers, but the cool thing is they all have their own thoughts, so their answers aren't going to be exactly the same. The last part of the work that they have to do is a blog where they will each write an original brief reflection essay answering the following questions. How do you think African Americans would be treated now if writers like Stowe, Wheatley, Naylor, and Douglass hadn't spoken up on the harsh treatment of African Americans? How do their themes and their writing influence your perception and treatment of African American citizens? This is to be 500 words and submitted on our class discussion board. So each student does this on their own. So we have the evaluation of this lesson where they will answer questions, and I just tell them how I will be grading this project and reminding them of plagiarism and the importance of not doing that in this project. And then the conclusion, as your teacher, I hope that you've continued to learn more and more about this time in American history, and that your level of understanding and compassion has grown as a result. And of course, I do hope that you enjoyed this WebQuest.